This episode is brought to you by the Toyota Grand Highlander. From daily routines to life-changing adventures, the Toyota Grand Highlander is spacious, powerful, and ready to take on life's grand challenges. Advanced safety features and innovative technology give you confidence for whatever life throws at you. And it's available in a hybrid Nightshade Special Edition, which includes sophisticated gloss black exterior accents and 20-inch black alloy wheels. Learn more at toyota.com/Grand Highlander. Toyota, let's go places.
Good evening, everyone. This is your host, Jeremichael, and the Beat Guy. And tonight is going to be a funny night. I'm having a funny night. It's a blood moon, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you got your Bloody Marys going on. We got about 8 questions tonight. 8 random questions by the voice in the back.
You know what's funny? JR never knows how many questions we have because he takes a guess every episode.
I realized by now that I didn't make 8 questions.
I guess I'm the lucky number 8, but you know, sit back, relax, have your cappuccino or your vodka or your dirty Bloody Mary and get ready for the show. How's everyone doing tonight?
All right. Actually, they say that the lunar eclipse will be at its peak at 2:49 a.m. or something.
Really?
Yep. I was reading about it earlier.
Yeah, it's supposed to. They say that the vibration from the blood moon, everybody will get their third eye enhanced, and the vibration of the planet is going to be level 5. So I don't know how true that is, but that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. I know we're supposed to have some harsh weather coming along with it.
Oh yes, I heard we're supposed to have hail and what is it, snow, over the weekend.
We're supposed to have tornado risk.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, out here, yeah.
Oh no. We can't catch a break, can we?
Up in the Northwest, they're getting a blizzard.
What?
Yeah, this storm is covering everywhere, so depending on the area is kind of depending on what you get from the storm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This is terrible, if you ask me.
I know so much about it because Pseudo loves weather. He's been watching it all.
So, what's the East Coast going to get?
Pseudo.
The East Coast going to get a little bit of wetness.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Get a little bit of rain over there.
That sucks. I'm tired of that. But I know the temperature's supposed to drop. It was 60 2 days ago, and then I don't know what happened. It was now it's 32.
Yeah, I think it reached 70 here today.
70.
Yeah.
So
Pseudo was
Pseudo
was talking about. He was like, "This reminds me of when we were in Louisiana, a couple months ago." I was like, "No, I don't even think it was this warm in Louisiana a couple months ago when we were there." Because it was also
everybody
very
was in
sunny.
Shorts.
Yeah,
Oh.
actually, Pseudo was in shorts. I was in a t-shirt.
That's cool. 70 is not bad, actually. 70 is pretty good compared to 95.
Yeah, that's when I'm like, you want me to go where? Outside? Do I have to?
So what happened to those monkeys? Did we ever get an update on that?
Yeah, they finally had caught the last ones. I think I mentioned that 2 weeks ago or so, where I said they finally caught the last ones.
Hello, Daniela. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you. Hopefully you got your glass of wine.
Hey, Danielle.
Hey.
I do the hey better than you do.
Yeah, she's actually my sister, so when I do the hey, it's like I'm talking to my sister.
My sister-in-law.
She's your sister.
After, the forcible marriage.
Forcible marriage?
Yeah, no, I mean, if I'm being taken hostage and forced to travel around the country and be on this podcast, then I can't imagine I married him willingly.
Damn.
Oh.
This isn't Stockholm.
Oh my god. Sorry I'm late. I was TikToking. All right, Trippy E. You go ahead and you TikTok away.
Sounds about
Don't
right.
forget to direct them to your...
Tag us, please. Social media.
Oh, I got the fart on this.
Oh, well, make sure you got Febreze. I got my Cod Red Mountain Dew. Code Red.
Oh.
Code Red.
Yo, I love that. I love that. That's totally Danielle right
Also
there.
seems about right.
Yeah.
Is it good? The Code Red Mountain Dew?
If you like dyes in your stuff.
Well, when I was 15, I used to drink Mountain Dew. No offense, Vinny, but it makes your piss stink. It's terrible.
Well, why'd you say no offense? It wasn't like I was offended by it.
Yeah, Danielle. I heard your piss stinks.
Yeah, Danielle, you got some stinky pee. You smell me?
Trippy, so you'll notice Trippy's back in the comments and not on the couch, and he said, not to fear though, he did send his picture for the week.
Oh, you did. Awesome, Trippy E. Okay. There you go.
So
Getting
we'll
the
have
Latin
to
fever going on.
flash you guys some of that in a little bit. We didn't even give him gummies, just saying. We really didn't.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. Well, I had my gummy tonight, so I'm good.
Harry Bo over there.
You're really red, Vinny. Why are you so red, man?
It's because sometimes when I drink red fluids, it makes me red.
That is a lie.
Okay.
Sometimes when he drinks what's in the red fluid, it makes him red.
Make sure he sends it via Facebook.
Well, this time you can't blame me for the editing with all the effects making you red, man. Like Antonio said last time, remember?
Oh,
Red Hulk over here.
Yeah. Antonio crucified me.
Wow, I don't know if we could show that picture.
We're going to
We
do this
might
real
get
quickly.
censored.
Whoa! Oh, man.
Everyone who just joined, welcome to the show.
Let's play a game.
Yeah.
Okay. Trippy said, sorry I'm late. I was TikToking. I don't think he was. I think he was sitting there taking a whole bunch of pictures, like from all different angles to get just the right one.
Yo, guys, if you got that link sent to me, send it out to more people. Let's have fun with this. Let's open up the comments and tell them to tear us apart in the comments. I want to get some nasty comments in here.
What? Tear us apart. Listen, we got some parents up in here that I send it to, and I don't know. They want to hear that. Vinny's like...
And Danielle said, no, I usually drink C4 energy drinks. She likes the strawberry ones.
You know, make fun of my redness. Oh, yeah. It's getting red in here. I think I might need to turn some lights off.
David, have you sent out all of your links?
Yeah, I did.
JR, have you sent out all of your links?
Oh, yeah. While he was doing it, I just went down the list on Messenger, Facebook.
All right, then it sounds like we're about
Okay.
ready to roll here.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
I know JR asked earlier how your week was, and you were busy sending out the link, but he also asked it on the phone, and you said, I'll tell you about that later.
Oh, my week. All right, so I have some stomach issues.
Okay.
And sometimes weird things happen.
Well, why do you have to
Drink
share
ginger
that?
ale.
Yeah, drink ginger ale. It'll solve everything. Yeah, cheers. I'm not going to share this. It's too much. But it was a good week. It was warm. We went for a lot of walks, did a lot of, like, normal people-ish. Like, I don't know. I'm getting ready to go back into real life, and it's kind of nice.
Awesome.
I'm not. Still trapped here.
What?
I said, I'm not. Still trapped here.
Hey, Stevie.
Chained to a corner. Hey, Stevie. What up?
You're not going to ask about my week?
Oh, yeah, how's your week? I don't really care.
Oh, JR, how was your week?
No,
I
I'm
don't
kidding.
care.
Oh, thank you.
I'm
Vince.
colder than the ice cube in this drink.
Exactly.
Cheers.
The week was pretty good. My daughter was going through some teacher issues. She pretty much felt like her teacher was picking on her, so she was kind of having a meltdown.
But was she?
Huh?
Was she?
No, she was trying to build her confidence by calling her out and telling her to get up in class and read. So my daughter's still learning how to read, fully. So she's kind of nervous and shy. So she was like, "Dad, the teacher's picking on me." And I'm like, "She's not picking on you. She's trying to get you to be more, you know, outgoing." Outgoing. Vinny's laughing.
I'm reading these comments about Eddie trying to tell Stevie that she released this week's photo.
All right. Well, as long as there's no teachers I need to beat up.
Yeah. But besides that, I took them to Turtle Park. There's a park here in Queens called Turtle Park. They got ancient turtles there and ducks. And my daughters, they were hanging out feeding the geese and ducks. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I did a little nature-esque like you guys.
Oh, that's nice.
It is fantastic. I want you to know that changed the order of my questions drastically.
I will say, though, we do have to share this again for Trippy E's sake, because I see him in the comments bragging about this.
Literally the perfect transition.
Wow.
Last week I had the perfect transition, and you guys killed it. And this week I had the perfect transition, and you guys are killing it. Like, literally, these are unplanned perfect transitions.
All right, continue the transition.
So
It's already over.
How many questions?
8, man.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
He's happy because he guessed it right this week.
Jared, the answer is always 8. I always come up with 8 questions.
No, you guys usually come with 5 or 6.
No, I always
7.
come with 8. Sometimes we only
Always
make
8?
5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes
Well, you
we
shouldn't
only
have
make
told
it
me.
to
I
5.
like guessing.
Yeah, I'll let you guess next week. I'll change it up.
Okay.
You're going to get 9.
Always... 9. We should go for 10.
We'll try it.
One day.
Alright, so are we going to start with question number 1?
Yeah. Or
Yep.
whatever you want to say.
Alright, question 1. A man was detained and missed his flight back on March 7th at Newark Airport when he was found hiding an item in his pants. What do you think that... Yeah, the TSA found him. He went off in TSA. He was hiding an item in his pants. What do you think the item was?
It was March 7th?
It was Cito's birthday. This happened.
Yo, it was definitely a gift for me.
Oh my god. That's right. A Renee 21. Oh my god. Oh my god.
She's judged enough on his TikToks that she got the picture.
No more waiting for it.
But yeah,
Oh my
so a
god.
man he was going through TSA security out in Newark Airport on March 7th, and they actually ended up he missed his flight because he was hiding something in his pants. He was setting off like all the alarms. So I wanted you guys to guess. What do you think? What do you think he was hiding in his pants?
A dildo, double-sided, crack, and a pickle has been some of the guesses.
Those are
God.
great guesses. Those are great guesses. No. You gotta get a lot weirder than that.
All right, JR, what's your guess?
I would say he hid a banana with 2 apples and a watermelon.
I like it, but no.
How about a turtle?
It indeed.
Okay.
How did you guess that, Sita?
Because he wasn't turtle enough for the turtle club.
Is it because I gave a context clue when I said this is the most perfect transition? And the fact that he went to Turtle Zoo completely changed the order of my questions? Is that why? Yeah, he was hiding a turtle in his groin area.
I guess you can say that's a butt plug, according to Amanda. Or A. Renee.
He had a live turtle concealed in his pants when he was stopped by TSA at Newark Airport.
Oh my god, a turtle.
It was a 5-inch long turtle.
What?
So that was a 5-inch long.
It was wrapped in a blue towel. It was apparently a turtle. It was called a red-eared slider. Apparently, the species is very popular as a pet. By the way, I got this from this article from AP News, just so you all know.
Oh wait, okay. I was gonna say that guy from.
Yeah, no, it's great. They said, okay, I've seen people conceal knives or other weapons, different things in storage, but They said as best as they could tell, the turtle was not harmed by the man's actions.
What did Lil Wayne say? That's where my bitches keep their turtles.
I saw this article. I could not wait to make you guys guess what was in his pants.
Oh, that's funny.
So the man's from Pennsylvania. From East Stroudsburg, specifically.
My daughter.
Strasbourg.
Can you do a Pennsylvania accent real quickly?
They said it's not clear. Oh, it's like, no, I always think of that SNL skit when they're like, they murdered my daughter.
They murdered my daughter.
Anyway,
You just mumble a lot.
Confiscated, and they said they're not sure if the turtle is the man's pet or even why he had the turtle in his pants.
Yeah, you were close.
She said, well, damn, I was closed. She said,
He was...
a dildo and then gotta be a butt plug. She said, well, damn.
I do think the butt plug was the closest. The butt plug or the snake was the closest. And he was definitely turtle enough for the Turtle Club, Trippy.
I absolutely think they'd allow him into the Turtle Club.
You think so?
Oh, they would let him in the Turtle Club. Do you know what the Turtle Club is? Are you turtle enough for the Turtle Club?
Well, I went to Turtle Park. I mean, doesn't that count for something?
No, turtle enough for the Turtle Club.
Movie Master of Disguise. Where he has to go to the Turtle Club so he disguises himself as like a man who looks like a turtle.
No, I'm not turtle enough.
Do it. You do it.
I'm not turtle enough. I'm not turtle enough.
Anyway, so they said it's unclear if the man's going to face any charges or penalties. I mean, I think this is a situation where they're literally like, I don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
What do I even do with this?
You just pray that you could get through it
No,
without laughing.
You said there's a TSA agent, like, WTF, dude? Like, what?
You try your hardest not to laugh, and then afterwards you post it on the TSA Instagram. Have you guys seen the TSA Instagram? This thing is amazing. This is amazing.
Can you put up on the screen for
I'm going to try to find it real quickly. You guys talk real quick while I do it.
I don't think I can keep a straight face in a lot of situations, right? Like I had a mental health client tell me that he was really upset because somebody threatened his girlfriend Ariana Grande with a zombie attack, and that's how his last girlfriend died. And I straight face told this man, you don't have to worry about that. We all know that zombies were eradicated 2 years ago. And he was like, oh yeah, you're right. And he went about his day, like completely unperturbed. And I was just like, all right, crisis averted. You know, like, and I kept a straight face for that. I do not think I could keep a straight face as a 5-inch long turtle gets whipped out of a man's groin area in the airport. I don't think I could keep a straight face. I really don't.
Okay, so I got the TSA Instagram up right here. Okay. I'm going to share it real quickly.
Turtle.
Alright. So what they got is like they post things of, here's the turtle, by the way. Here's the turtle. they post it on their Instagram. But you can see.
This poor turtle's like, I need air.
They just, if you bring something on.
I don't know how to smell the schmegma anymore.
If you bring something on there, it will end up on the TSA Instagram, and you must follow them. As you can see, I'm following them. You should go follow the TSA Instagram.
Oh, wow. TSA is really going hardcore with social media. They post that stuff?
Yeah, everything.
I mean, I can't blame them. Like, she gotta be hilarious.
Oh, my God. I didn't know that.
Yep.
They got their own Instagram.
Hilarious.
They didn't have their Instagram before, actually.
That's a Fifi.
I don't know if we could even show that or explain that without.
Yeah, we can't explain that if we show it. We could.
Getting flagged. Call Vinny after the show to learn what a Fifi is.
I could tell you one or the other. I can't show you and tell you in the same moment. All right.
Oh, shout out to Stevie. She says something to you, Caitlin. That's an awesome story.
Oh, thank you, Stevie.
Yeah. By the way, do you guys want to see it again?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I have things, on our podcast where we follow up stories. Like we follow up stories about like stolen food, like all sorts of things. This might be one of those things where I follow up every now and again, to see if we could see if like the TSA found something weirder than a turtle.
Wow, so you know what we should do, a segment where it says bloopers for TSA today is.
Yeah, I think like every other week or like even monthly we should like check the TSA Insta and have a TSA segment.
Yo,
I bet it would be fantastic. I mean, they found a turtle in this man's pants.
on a side note, for everyone commenting, what is the funniest Instagram? I'm way too close to the mic. What is the funniest Instagram that you follow? Mine is a mix in between the TSA and 50 Cent.
I was just thinking this guy's a baseball player and the turtle was his cup.
No, Oh, sorry.
He's just a really big fan of Mario.
I'm just trying to expand my Instagram and get more funny stuff.
I am making fun of the turtle in the man's pants because it's way more interesting than expanding your Insta.
I know. All right, so by the way, it would be a good cup.
I made a joke about him being a baseball player and it being his cup. I made a joke about him being a big fan of Mario, and then you're just like so focused on your Insta you can't enjoy the nuance.
So was it
Why did you even kidnap me?
So by the way, it was a green turtle by the images. So
I told you what kind of turtle it is.
So he was definitely trying to get close to his opponent to throw it at him. Mario Kart rules.
It's not a green turtle.
You're Stevie, you're never too old for Instagram. There's always time for the gram. Come on.
Yeah.
I only have an Instagram because Renee essentially sat there and because she said she felt she was cheating on me when she didn't tag me in posts.
Wait. Did JR say you're never too old for a gram?
Yeah, I did say.
That's just a little bump.
Okay, I can tell when it's time to move on to the next question because you're going to bring it into just straight stupid territory.
All right, so the turtle thing, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, you know, like at Cup Check, he had a hard knock life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I got it. It just wasn't.
It wasn't.
Anyway, it wasn't a turtle. It was a red-eared slider.
Oh, so it was a red turtle. Yo, why did he try to get close to the victim? He could have just threw it at him from afar. It would have hunted them down.
Because it's a red turtle?
Yeah, have you ever played Mario Kart?
Yeah.
So the red turtle shells, when you throw them, they're like heat sinkers.
Yeah, he was expecting me to understand that joke too, and I also didn't.
Yeah, but I'm the one who's blonde.
Well, I had a hat moment.
Yeah, that one went over to Cap.
Yeah, it did.
I can tell when it's time to move on. Are we ready for question 2, folks?
Yes.
All right, do we want me to go a little bit darker after that bright, shining light of a news story?
Yeah, JR took off his hat.
We're going to go super dark first.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I wasn't going to do. Pseudo actually told me I should.
Oh,
So when
yeah.
you sit there and you're like, wow, Kate. Wow, voice in the back of the room. Wow, hostage. Why do you bring the most awful stories to this? I want you to know this one's Pseudo's fault.
So when you tune in later and this can't be played because you followed the link and it can't be played, it's because of this.
All right. So, a 5-year-old boy was incinerated in a hyperbaric chamber explosion in February.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just in the news now because the medical team is actually facing charges of second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter.
Oh my god.
Do you know it was done intentionally too? It wasn't?
What?
No, kidding. I'm messing with you.
Like, he has to make it weird. I'm saying, so they're actually getting charged for, one would think negligence at least, right? But why do you think they're actually getting charged with second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter? Because this wasn't, like, medical negligence. It is, but that's not what they're getting charged for. It might be, but it's an underlying.
Malpractice.
Well, yeah, obviously there's malpractice going on. Duh.
All right. I don't know. I know more about this story than you've revealed so far.
Okay, so what we actually get into here, hyperbolic chambers, right? The FDA only really has these cleared for very specific types of treatments. Okay? So when we get into it...
Oh, you had a question. How does that even happen? From Stevie.
Oh. There was a spark that got set off, apparently. And it caused, like, this explosion.
Yeah.
So what actually happened was there was a whole lot that happened with this. So each of the medical team members were actually arrested on Monday for this. And on Tuesday, they entered not guilty pleas. This is also from AP News, by the way. And
AP News.
yeah, I
Another
know. I'm
article
really
from
on
AP
them right
News.
now. I know.
Damn.
So the FDA actually allows the use of hyperbolic treatment for things like severe burns, decompression sickness, and non-healing wounds. Those are like the three things it's approved for. The reason why the medical team is actually being charged for things like second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter is because there's no reason this kid should have been getting hyperbolic treatment at all, because they were pretty much treating him for ADHD.
Ooh.
ADHD.
ADHD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and for sleep apnea.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So, pretty much, his treatment was, quote, unsupported by medical science.
Really?
Yeah. And because the FDA doesn't approve the use of a hyperbolic chamber for this type of treatment, it can't be put through insurance. So pretty much the team overseeing this hyperbolic chamber are doing, like, treatments for things that the FDA doesn't approve.
Ooh.
So, which means
Right.
it's a cash-only business.
Money. Oh.
That's not good. Not good. We're talking about...
So that's that's dark.
Suda, you have to pull this question to keep it going, because you're the one who said, let's talk
All
about
right.
it, definitely.
So, like, damn. Like, I agree with the charges. Let me start that off right now. I agree with the charges. Does anyone out there think that the charges are too heavy?
Good
Do
question.
you
Yeah,
feel like it's too heavy? JR, do you feel like it's too heavy because they're using different types of medical procedures that might be experimental and they're trying to figure new things out? Or are you for it because of that reason? Or are you against it still?
It's a little confusing. To be honest with you, I agree with the charges. I don't think it's too harsh. I think it's necessary. But I know the voice in the back of the room, it was a lot of information to grasp.
Yep.
But with the experiments and stuff, with all the drugs and stuff, no, I think that, charges are valid. What do you
Yeah.
think?
A. Renee says that she agrees with the charges. Stevie says you can only get that type of stuff on the black market. Absolutely correct. It is disgusting parents, disgusting staff is the exact quote from A. Renee.
So the mother actually is actually being treated for burn wounds, trying to save her child when it happened.
Oh.
So it's awful. But then again, the mom's getting cash for this because it's not being covered by insurance. So here's the thing. Was she informed correctly? Was she misinformed? Were they like, yes, this absolutely helps with sleep apnea. Yes, this absolutely helps with ADHD. And, she's just being led to believe, like, insurance is saying no. And we hear about this, right? Like, that the CEO of United Healthcare was just killed because of, the United Healthcare denying people's claims for coverage, right? So was she told this and thought, oh, this is just kind of par for the course, I need to get my child help, and she was misinformed? Or did she know, like, hey, this is the FDA, there's no clinical evidence that shows this is helpful, but she's just like, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. Like, because, like, with a hyperbolic chamber, they're, like, essentially forcing oxygen flow into you,
Jeez.
We don't really know.
Yeah, it's just...
But they actually do cover in the article that some people feel it's an odd case for the charges to be so heavy, and people are like, well, you have to remember, technically you're supposed to be presumed innocent going into this, but because it was a medically unsound decision, people are like, no, these charges are accurate.
Yeah, but like what Amanda said, Renee, why would you do something so heinous for ADHD or even sleep apnea? Like, it is.
Money.
No, but like the parent.
Yeah.
How bad was it that you couldn't try to like figure out something else, work it out, maybe like figure, like, I know ADD could be bad. I've seen extreme cases. Trust me, I've seen them. And it could be pretty bad, and I get it, that it's hard sometimes. And it's really hard. But it's not hard enough to put your son or child or daughter in a gas chamber.
I mean, it's not a gas chamber, but I totally plan on putting pseudo in one for the treatment of ADHD.
And my sleep apnea, that shit's loud.
Sleep apnea.
Let's get loud in here.
Anyway, yeah, no, I mean, taking jokes out of it, this treatment exists for a reason, right? When you talk about decompression illness, that happens, right? But this kid is too young to have a say. It's not like this kid's like, on his older teens and being like, gosh, we need to try something, Like, no, it's not that at all.
No.
Wow.
They actually, so if we really want to get into it, these centers are the hyperbolic chambers can be very dangerous. Like, so the Oxford Center where this happened isn't even on a list of an accredited facility.
It sounds like it.
A maintenance check had not been performed that day. There is no medical doctor that was on site during the time of the treatment.
Oh.
And the treatment was not performed by a licensed technician.
Oh, that's terrible.
So,
That's
so even if they were using the treatment for a reasonable reason, let's take away the reason why they were using it. But like, let's say it was a reason that it's approved for, they wouldn't have been able to do it.
Oh yeah.
Point proven. The charges are valid.
Yep.
I
even
agree.
if there was even if there was evidence that
Actually,
this could be helpful.
I think the charges should be a little harder.
Yep.
Oh, damn. You going, like you would say to me, Vinny, you going in, huh?
I think it should be first degree.
More torture.
Maybe even an act of terrorism.
Well, when you look, so the bonds they actually have set for these people are nuts. So, the bond set for the chief executive is set for $2 million. So that's really high. For the facility manager and safety manager, it's $250,000. And then it's $100,000 for the operator of the chamber. Yeah, and they said the reason why they have it so high for the chief executive is because they believe that person would be a flight risk.
Okay.
Because she has access to a considerable sum of money.
You know what? Yeah. I think none of them should be allowed bond, but...
Okay. Now, I do think I should say hyperbolic chambers are not black market. These are legitimate treatment things.
I know. That's why I brought that up. I haven't quoted it.
Yeah, but I think it was, but, yeah, no. It's awful, and Pseudo was like, oh my god, do that article. So don't blame me for that one.
No, nobody's... Any comments down below? Oh, yeah, and don't forget to subscribe, share, like, give us your comments, and tell us what you think about that question.
And if you got a link for me, you could share it around, but if you get the link, you can comment.
All right, I have another darker story, too, but none of the stories I have are as dark as that one, so it's all uphill from here, people. Please stay tuned.
Oh, yeah.
All right, should I add some levity or do the other dark story first?
Let's get a little levity in there and then bounce back.
All right. Question number 3. Did you hear about the story about a school bus driver who saved the day for one of his riders?
No, but how?
So this bus driver, it's actually super cute. Okay. So this bus driver went to pick up this rider, and he saw him kind of sitting there crying. This guy, he works in Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. And he said, he was driving up, and this is a student that's always like big smiles, like super big smiles. And he saw them, and this kid was kind of sitting on the curb with his hood up, and he was crying. He's like, this doesn't like him. Like, what's wrong, bud? And the kid mentioned that, it was pajama day at school, and he was really upset that he couldn't participate because he didn't have pajamas.
Oh, really?
So this bus driver is 35, right? So, like, that's like my and Pseudo's age group, right? This bus driver, obviously, in his head is like, oh, absolutely not. So he drops these kids off at school, and he proceeds to go ahead and go to the store. He went to the local Family Dollar, and he picked up 2 different pairs of pajamas before going back to the school. And he surprised the little kid in class with pajamas. Aww. And he said that apparently the little kid was so excited, like face lit up, and the school thought it was so heartfelt. They were like, they essentially took pictures of him and they shared it on their Facebook page. But I think it's just the cutest story.
I think so too.
Yeah, right. It's just adorable. I love it. So I guess my question is, is there anything that you've done like that for somebody? Not anything that's like this huge thing, but have you guys ever done something like but small but ends up being pretty meaningful like that for somebody?
I mean, yes, they're usually personal, so I don't really want to say the one that's coming to my mind, but we were told about it tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean things that you're okay with sharing.
I don't know, JR, you go first with this one.
Something I did that was heartwarming.
Yeah,
I dressed up as Tony the Tiger, and I did it for charity for kids with cancer. So I don't know if that counts.
That is beautiful.
That's great.
Can you do it? Do it.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Come on, do it once. Do it once. Get in
I
character.
didn't know you were a furry, JR.
Yeah, JR, you got a little sweet soul right there. You like that. That's some swag.
Look, it's
Swag.
Stevie said, I bought the person's drink behind me at Starbucks. Yes, pay it forward.
Had their kitty stolen and sold it on the black market. Wow, Stevie. I thought you were a little more, compassionate than that.
Oh.
About the last article.
Yeah, JR. Don't turn red, JR.
Anyway.
You're funny, Vinny.
Actually, I probably have 2 different ones. They're both from when it's always related to work with me. So they're actually both when I was working at this program, both related to birthdays for clients. But I'll choose the one. So there's one client, he had the same birthday as me. Okay. And he was on parole in and out of jail, right? But he was really trying to get better, really trying to be helpful, healthy, really trying to just live his life better. And he shared the same birthday as me. I'm not really a fan of cake. So my coworkers had actually gotten ice cream bars for my birthday to celebrate, like 1 strawberry, 1 chocolate. And I was out in the hallway, and he told me, he said, this is the first birthday. He's like, oh, we're like birthday buddies. And he goes, this is the first birthday that I'm actually out of jail. The first birthday I'm actually celebrating out of jail in 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, he said it was his first birthday out of jail in 20 years. And I told him how proud I was of him and everything. And I asked him, and you're not supposed to do something for one client that you're not going to do for all of them. So essentially, like, I'd have to have enough ice cream for everyone. But I didn't. So I asked him, if he preferred chocolate or strawberry. And he's like, oh, chocolate. Why? And I was like, don't even worry about it. And at lunchtime, I ran out with with the chocolate and the strawberry bars. And I made sure that he got one. And, like, was real big about celebrating his birthday. Like, real extra loud and making sure he got a special little thing, even though I didn't have enough for the whole, population. So that's probably something that I did.
And now she's a hostage.
Yeah, now I've been kidnapped.
So Danielle commented, today I met an elderly lady. I let an elderly lady go in front of me in a Dollar General, and she bought my items because she said there's not many nice young adults around anymore. Danielle, you
sweet.
and her were both nice today.
Oh, that's sweet.
One time I let Caitlin take my air mattress.
What?
You stole my air mattress.
Did I?
I bought a brand new air mattress for someone to come over, and we never ended up using it because the person never came over.
Oh, yeah.
And she stole my air mattress, and I was like, you know what? That's fine. I let her take it. She didn't steal it.
I had a client who just got his first apartment, and he didn't have a bed.
And the person didn't have a bed, so I gave her my air mattress to do that with.
We gave him the air mattress.
So that comes to my mind.
I forgot about that. Look how sweet I am. Gosh.
No,
okay, I forgot about that.
Usually I don't like sharing good things I do because it's kind of like it gets personal because I usually get personal with it.
You don't have to. I just thought it would be a cute little segment, especially after how dark.
I do actually. This is something like if you see my car and you know me, please don't take it from here. I always keep a few bucks in the visor. There's a little eyeglass thing. If you pop it open, there's a few bucks. And it's there because every time I drive by someone in the street, I like to give them whatever I have in there. And I don't care what it's used for. I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, they're going to go use it for this. Well, you know what? I don't care. They're going to use it for something to make them happy. I don't care what it is. Let them be happy, even if it's only for 4 minutes.
Meanwhile, I'm over here actively trying to get them to not do that. But okay.
And I keep it in there, and it's only for that. It's only for that moment when I see someone, and I put $1 in there every time I have an extra dollar sitting in my pocket. And it builds up until I see someone. Right now, it's empty.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
See? Look at that. Pajamas, Tony the Tiger, ice cream, air mattresses. Dollars being handed up to the needy for God knows what reasons.
It is good karma.
Really, yeah, that's really sweet, Vinny.
See,
Really
I told you, I told you I had some stories that added some levity.
Yeah, we went from dark to soft and fluffy.
Oh, fluffy, so fluffy.
I have some other dark ones, but none of them are as bad as that one was. I want you to know.
Trippy, that is so nice. You gave one homeless guy $3 every time I see him. That is awesome. And did you say, here's your $3, check out my OnlyFans?
Was there a prerequisite?
Right.
That's where Trippy gets all of his followers. You said here's $3, pay for my Patreon. Oh no, I'm sorry, Trippy. That's really sweet.
Pay for my Patreon.
No, that's really sweet. That's really sweet. You know, my brother, rest his soul, he when he was living in the city, he was very big on paying it forward. So he would actually give coffee to like the homeless people who kind of lived along his like commuter path. When he was walking, he'd always make sure he brought them hot coffee and give them coffee on his way like to work or like from work. And one of these days, one of the guys was like, pardon me, sir, I don't want you to keep wasting your money. I really don't like coffee. You don't have to get me anything. Like, it's okay. My brother had asked him, like, well, what do you want? And he said, oh, what do you like? And he said, I like tea. So my brother started bringing him tea every day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Soul too good for this world.
You know what I don't like, though?
That's the shit I don't like.
I don't like when celebrities advertise what they do for people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like that. Just do it and you don't have to publicize it.
Agreed. Like, I know Pseudo is essentially saying that, like, he does, there's stuff he doesn't really want to share it, and I'm like, that, but you don't have to. I just thought the pajamas were particularly cute. And I thought, if there's anything cute, like that we could share, I think that's a really good thing. But I agree with you. I don't like when it's used for image.
Yo, by the way, fuck Miles.
It's been a while since we got one of those in here.
Yeah, fuck Miles.
Oh, look, what is this comment by Pseudo? I pay for strippers all the time.
Yeah. Oh, don't forget everybody. Donate to Triple E's OnlyFans Patreon at 845
And if you want to.
Danielle said be an Adam Sandler. He stays private.
Yes, that's exactly, yes.
Adam Sandler? What's up with Adam Sandler?
Yo, he's the greatest of all time.
She said he stays private. There are celebrities who do things and they don't want recognition. Like, there's celebrities who will do things, and, it's hard to keep that quiet, so sometimes they do, but some news sources get it and they'll, blow it up, and the celebrity's just like, I don't want to do it anymore now. I wasn't doing it for that reason.
Yeah.
Well, Matt Damon, he does stuff he doesn't like people to know, and he's not in the public eye like that.
Yeah. Well, because it's being way more, altruistic. And they say no one's really altruistic, right? No one's really, because everything that you do is for a purpose. So they say, even if you do that, the fact that you're feeling good about doing that is something that you gain. So no one in this world is completely 100% altruistic. But I always take that point of view and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but
Downer, negative Nancy. It doesn't change the fact that somebody, good for this person for doing that and for helping people. And who cares if it makes that person get a sense of self-satisfaction with it? Because there's so many bad things. If this person's like, I have it and I could offer it and I want to and I love to be out of the limelight with it because it's just something I like to do. And the only thing they're gaining from it is I feel good about this. I mean, probably
exactly.
Benefits, but ignoring that, I feel good about this. Good for them.
So Stevie says Taylor Swift does. So let me ask you a question, Stevie. Do you make breakfast in the morning with Taylor Swift playing in the background? Is that why you say
her daughter's
Taylor
a Swiftie?
Swift? Ah.
Taylor Swift does do a lot of donations anonymously. She's not the only musician to do that.
I like Renee's perspective here. Actually, she said she low-key disagrees because people look up to celebrities and she thinks people seeing that could really inspire people to do good.
True. I'm not,
Yeah. It's, no, I hear you because I tend to be, agree with you on this, JR. But, she definitely has a point there,
yeah.
promoting, good deeds. Good towards
you're
man.
right, because everything is so negative. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Why
for
not?
Yes, I've heard, Stevie. The voice in the back of the room told me.
There's a lot of musicians that do it anonymously. Adam Sandler's one. He's not really a musician, he's an actor.
Suda went through a list of rappers one day in the car with me when he was just committing federal crimes for bringing me across state lines. And he was looking up all the different rappers that do different philanthropic work or donate money or this and that. And some of them it's really hard to find.
Yeah. Like Eminem does a lot.
Yeah.
Most people don't talk about that. He does a lot for the city of Detroit. Chance the Rapper does a lot. Chance the Rapper has done a lot with the education system in Chicago. To the point where he has donated so much money that I think he literally owns a school. Dr. Dre owns multiple schools. Because he's donated so much that it's literally the schools in his name. And he's bought in the University of Southern Cal, which that you have to literally buy into. But he also, a lot of high schools are named after him or have been funded by him single-handedly. And their music programs were how he got in there because he was obviously trying to make it so where people had a way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of breakfast, Stevie wanted to make it clear that it's not just Taylor Swift because her daughter's a Swiftie, but she loves rock music, specifically Hailstorm. So that's probably playing in the background too. Trippy said it was time for breakfast, loser. You said I have the time, Trippy.
Well,
Hey Trippy, I'll pay for 1 day with the subscription on. I'm not renewing though.
You know, Trippy's gonna end up with an OnlyFans and Patreon where he's actually making money because of this one day.
a shout out to Stevie. I just wanted to let you know you like Hailstorm. I like Nirvana, Kiss, and Linkin Park, plus Butterfly. The group Butterfly, if you know who I'm talking about.
Stevie loves Lizzie Hale. She said she'd totally go after girls for her, even though she doesn't like girls. I'm calling her out. I'm throwing out her secrets now.
Yeah.
Things friends know.
Ooh.
$250, you get the family discount, Trippy said.
Oh, God.
Anyway, alright. Anyway, so moving on from good deeds, like giving Trippy $3, $250 if you're family.
$250.
We're gonna move on to our next question.
Yeah, we can do that.
Alright. Do we want random, dark, weird? What are we thinking? Random. Okay. Did you hear about the Memphis man who was shot by his dog?
Walter, what are you doing?
Wait.
That's my homeboy Walter right there.
Come on. Shot by his dog?
Yeah, the dog be walking around packing nines. He'd be like, mm-mm.
Hear about it?
Does that dog hold his nine sideways, or does he hold it straight?
Dude, I saw this article and I was in stitches. I want you to know. Pseudo's sitting there as I'm giggling. He'll be like, what? And I'll be like, it's just one of the stories for tonight. And he's like, and I'm like, and you'll know about it tonight. And this was one of them.
Did he bark first?
The one was the turtle. The one was the turtle in the pants. I was in hysterics, and I was like, oh, yes. And then this one. So apparently, he sustained a gunshot wound when his dog accidentally fired a gun by jumping on his bed.
Ooh.
This is from NBC News, and the article is written by Marlene Lenthang.
Lathang. Doing your thing.
Danielle said she heard about this story. Yes, Danielle. Danielle's given me some good story ideas in the past.
All right.
So the dog says, "Look, I want some love. I'm coming on the bed." Boom. Boom.
So what? The story is really wild. Okay, ready? So the man called officers to report that he had been shot. Right. So what happened was he was lying on his bed with a friend. That's what they said. He was lying on his bed with a friend. When his dog jumped onto the bed and his paw got stuck in the gun's trigger guard. And the pet ended up hitting the trigger. The gun went off and the man was grazed in his upper left thigh.
Stevie said survival of the fittest.
He said, "I can't take this shit anymore. Damn, motherfucker."
Pop, pop.
So the dog was a pit bull puppy named Oreo.
Oh. It doesn't make it better. Oh.
So apparently...
He was a puppy?
So, yeah. What happened
Oh, so just a young one going out there
on the
popping
bed
cats.
With a friend. I don't know if friend is friend or quote friend, but friend. This pit bull puppy named Oreo jumps up there, gets his paws stuck in the trigger guard, and the gun goes off, shooting him in the upper left thigh. It was just a flesh wound.
This has been coming for a long time, Trippy says.
You like making me do tricks for my treats?
Yo, this is what Trippy's gonna be doing on his OnlyFans. You like making me do tricks for my treats?
So afterward, apparently the man's friend left the home after the gun went off and took the gun with her when she left. So he was brought to the hospital in non-critical care. They found one shell casing. But they say Tennessee does not have any state laws requiring firearm owners to lock their weapons up, but the police do encourage people to lock up their guns.
Well, yeah, you don't want Oreo or Strawberry to shoot you in the ass next, you know?
Okay, but hear me out. This is what got me. The story itself is odd, right? I'm laying in bed with my girlfriend, with my friend, female, right? And we're just hanging out, and this puppy jumps up, His paw happens to get stuck in the trigger guard that happens to go off. It happens to just graze my upper left thigh. And then the gun goes off, and this female friend just suddenly gets up, grabs the gun, and leaves the apartment.
Oh.
After the gun goes off, and then he calls the police about it. Was it the dog?
That's funny.
That is... All right, so...
Was it the dog? I'm curious. Was it the dog?
I don't want to question that.
I have so many questions. Come on, what are the chances?
Maybe.
Why is there a gun just laying on the bed with you two?
I don't know. Maybe it was product placement?
Tell you what, definitely made me want to go buy a firearm. Huzzah.
And she scared the dog, and it said, "Roof, bang!"
Stevie said I would YouTube how to stitch a gunshot wound before telling people a dog shot me. It was a non-critical wound, you know? Like, I was worried, like, somebody's going to hear that there was a gunshot in my house and I'm going to get in trouble, so I have to report this story or whatnot. But I agree. I'm like, why did you even report that? I would be like bandaging up my wound and calling it a day. Like, this will never be spoken of again. This girlfriend is never coming back to my apartment, I bet.
Keep your pew-pews away from my kids and my dogs. Pew-pew! Pew-pew!
Oh my god, especially the little one, Danielle.
Oh, yeah.
She would be a menace with a pew-pew.
She'd just be walking around, pew-pew, pew-pew, pew-pew.
What makes it worse is that the dog's name was Oreo.
Oreo!
I mean, come on.
How cute. Little puppy pit bull. Just contributing to stereotypes about pit bulls, I guess. Westy!
Yeah. Westy,
We were just talking about how a man got shot by his dog.
Yeah, he went, pew pew. Dog hopped in the bed and went, "I'm done with these treats being a lure."
If it was not the dog, if it was not the dog, why did she take the gun? My point exactly, Trippy. Why is this woman jumping up, grabbing that gun, and going? If it was the dog, why?
That would be a good commercial for
she's
gun
like,
safety.
I want my gun confiscated because your dog shot you with my firearm.
Damn.
Commercial for gun safety. That's hilarious.
No, it'd be a great commercial.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I told you I had a random one in here, and I thought this was it. This is wild. Turtles and groins and airports and gun-toting dog gunslingers.
That dog's new name is Pistol Pete.
Oh yeah, I would definitely change that dog. He's a puppy. You're no longer Oreo. Your name's now Shooter.
Oh. JR, what's your best dog shooting name? One Shot Jimmy?
My brother's dog is named Bullet.
Bullet?
No. Underpants.
What?
Underpants?
Why?
Underpants. I don't know. It just came to my mind.
Is he tucking it underneath his pants?
Yeah. Pew pew.
I would call him McGavin. You know, like Shooter McGavin from...
McGavin.
I would name him McGavin, like Shooter McGavin, the golf player from Happy Gilmore.
Oh, okay. I like
Yes.
McGavin. I like McGavin.
Sounds like a cigarette brand. Try McGavin. Light, not too sugary, but the smooth of the smoke.
I'd call him
Exactly, yes.
Two Pump Jimmy.
I would call the dog Safety.
Safety.
Bullseye. That's what Daniel said. Bullseye.
Oh, man.
Yo, he's definitely going to be the next target dog.
You think so?
This story is just life. It gives me life.
Bond.
So funny. I'm sorry.
007. The follow up on Stevie's.
I like it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. I told you, there was my random question. I mean,
Damn.
all of them are random questions, but that one was...
That is-
By the way, it was a pit. Do you know that a pit can survive a bullet straight to the head?
Are you serious?
Yes, their muscles are so dense that it'll like tighten up and fill in the gap. Yeah. Like there's been plenty of times. There was a shooting in Texas, I want to say. The pig got in the way of the bullet, saved the woman by getting in the way of the bullet. It was before we did this. I used to send out random news
It's not
articles.
like they commonly survive gunshot wounds to the head. It's that they can.
Yeah. Yep.
They are capable.
Got it. So you're gonna make a song about?
I go big guff on the streets, but my house name is Max. Oh.
Fantastic.
McGuff.
That's
Come here,
That's
Winchester.
inside
Come
joke.
here. Come here, Glock.
Yeah.
You're a good boy.
Oh shit.
All right. Anyway.
I bet you that dog's always loaded. All right.
And...
Jared, what are you doing?
I'm sniffing, man.
What are you sniffing?
Are you addicted to Afrin?
Are you addicted to Afrin? Do we have to step in here on your Afrin diet?
No. This is called the Boom Boom Inhaler. Got it off of TikTok.
Oh, it's definitely cocaine.
Tropical flavor.
Oh yeah.
Tampon.
It actually feels good.
Well, trust me, Coca-Cola felt good until they realized.
No, it opens up your lungs. And
everything. It sounds
No,
legit.
be careful, because things like Afrin and stuff do that too, but it makes your body's ability to do that itself less effective because it becomes reliant on the product to do that. So just be careful. All jokes aside.
Okay, I didn't know that.
He got good stuff. He's sniffing it.
He's sniffing the tampoon over there.
Yeah.
Well, it cleans.
Oh,
It looked like a tampon.
Ew, raspberry flavor.
Wow. The voice in the back of the room had to kill it for me for sniffing and call it a tampon. Now I'm gonna think I'm putting
Look
a
at it.
tampon.
Hold it up and look at it. Tell me it doesn't look like a tampon.
Hi, kids. You want any raspberry
Hold it to the
tampons?
camera. Hold it to the camera. Do it. Hold it to the camera. There.
Wait, no.
Tampon.
Move your hand so you can see the bottom.
Yeah,
There's a base to it.
tampon.
There's a base to it. Oh! Oh, there's a string out the top. Oh, that's his headphone wire. I know, but I was hopeful there was a string on it.
I mean, either that
Smoking
or
a
it's
tampon.
like
That's terrible.
either that or talking about bullets. It's gonna be.
Hell yeah.
It could also be a pocket rocket.
Oh, is that your lipstick, JR?
No.
It has been a while
Oh,
since we brought
Danielle,
up
thanks. I got good stuff. I'm sniffing, yeah.
Hashtag to everybody out there doing what JR is doing.
Hey,
No,
you ain't
no.
cool unless you sniffing tampons.
You know something? You guys laugh, but there's going to be an article you get that's going to say, man in his 38 was sniffing a tampon in his bedroom while his kids were playing PlayStation.
Yo,
Watch. I'm
I kid you not, we will
Yeah.
bring it into this immediately.
I know you will.
I will print and frame that article for The Office. You see where ODB is behind pseudo? There won't be an album
Yeah.
there anymore. It will be that news article.
Yeah.
I could see it. Instead of using a wrapper, they use a tampon and smoke sticky green. You know?
Listen, people have soaked tampons in alcohol and shoved them up their butts, so stranger things
What?
have happened. Yeah, people who are like addicted to alcohol but they can't drink it anymore, say they have ulcers or stuff, will do like
Right.
enemas and stuff like that to get their alcohol, to get their drunk on. But it goes into the it goes into the skin of your anus, your colon so quickly. It's very easy to get alcohol poisoning. But yeah, people have like straight soaked tampons in alcohol and put it in their butts, and for women, put it in their vaginas. You know.
And they get drunk?
Yeah, but it's super dangerous. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super dangerous because the effects is
Super dangerous
get
because
some
the
type of-
alcohol gets into your system so much faster. It's way easier to get alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
oh
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your things that you learn.
I guess that's what happened at all P Diddy's parties then, huh?
Yeah. random pools of knowledge from yours truly in the back of the room.
Yep.
Random facts.
So
Enjoy.
every time you see JR in the corner sniffing, it's definitely something good.
Oh no.
JR, show off your sniffing device again.
If it smells like perfume,
Yeah.
it's not for you, JR.
JR, in the middle of this episode, has started sniffing this tube. JR, put the tube.
Trippy said man dies from sniffing tampons. Careful, a lot of tampons have like chlorine and stuff in them. Be careful with that.
Oh, that's disgusting.
What? Chlorine sniffing tampons?
Oh no, I said be careful with sniffing the tampons. Some of those have chlorine in them and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a big
Really?
like
I didn't
thing
know
about
that.
like what's in your
No,
tampon.
boom boom is all natural. It's all, no chemicals.
I mean-
not like the vat.
From what I
Vaseline
gather, what
stuff.
goes into the tampon is also all natural.
That's what she said. But,
She didn't say anything. She was silent.
So is it just tampons, or do pads do it for you too? Inquiring that comes from Stevie.
Questions must be answered.
Hey, did Pseudo ever tell you about his question about pads?
All right. So it was a couple months
Pseudo
ago.
ever tell you about when he asked me if pads stick to a girl's underwear or the girl herself?
All right. I need to explain myself. Because I heard that panty liners. I learned about panty liners and panty liners attached to the underwear. So I questioned, well, then what's the difference between a panty liner and a pad? Does a pad attach to the human? And if so, that's weird. I
Phrase it like that.
I didn't phrase it like this, but that was how my thought process. But
No.
but the question came out like,
He said,
hey, does pads attach to the
"How does a girl wear a
girl?
pad?" I'm like, well, how do you think we wear a pad? He goes, you stick them to yourselves. And I was like, are you joking? He was like, no. And I was like, I called all of my girlfriends. I texted them all. I texted my mom. My girlfriends and I were just in stitches. Stitches.
Wait. We need to pause real quickly. 1 second. Trippy E knows someone that stuck a vodka-filled tampon in their butt.
Told you what happened.
Yeah, that's squeezing the juice. OJ style.
Anyway, yeah, so I was like, Pseudo, you know how panty liners work. How do you not know how pads work? But anyway, I called every woman I know, and he gets made fun of it relentlessly by us all. Anyway, question number 5. Moving on.
Okay.
All right. Have you heard of the $5 million lawsuit going on against the Girl Scouts of America?
What?
Yep.
Wow.
There's
Why?
a $5
Cookies
million
were dry?
lawsuit against the Girl Scouts of America.
What is happening here? What are the girls doing? Are they selling coke? Are they peddling the JR out here? Are they selling their tampons to JR?
Ask, what do you think they're doing?
I don't know. I bet you.
They're making dry cookies and probably
Nah, they making those special brownies.
So the article is from People, from their website. It was written by
A bunch of
People
people wrote this article?
People magazine. Anyway, so there is a New York woman who is suing the Girl Scouts of America after a after a study claimed to find aluminum, arsenic, lead, mercury, and pesticides in 100% of the cookies that were sampled.
Oh my god.
So based on the study, a New York woman filed a lawsuit against them, claiming that they're selling cookies contaminated with heavy metals.
Yeah, that's bringing it.
Do you think there's people who just sit there and read studies and assess, can I sue for that? Because, was this woman a part of the study and then was like, oh, I've been personally affected? Or did she read the study and was like, I'm suing? this is my end. I'm gonna make money off this. Like,
So their next cookies coming out are called Metallica.
Yeah, but that's messed up because think about it. If those ingredients were in the cookies, so that means all those years, for 30 or 50 years, the Girl Scout organization has been around. People have been getting poisoned.
yeah.
Wait.
So she's
I got.
$5 million from Girl Scouts and their cookie manufacturers, Ferrero and ABC Bakers.
Wait. I gotta pause real quickly. Mara said, "What if a sensor could cause you push button to have an orgasm, laughing my ass off?" And then Rusty commented, "Busted." So I guess it worked.
Stevie said somebody tried to poison me with Thin Mints the other day. Stevie, I want you to know, he bought those Thin Mints for me, as he told you, because they're my favorite. But by the time I got them, most of them were gone. So I had to me with the Thin Mints, but he protected me from the Thin Mints by eating most of my favorite cookie and leaving like 2 behind for me.
And those are Thin Metals, not Thin Mints.
He's like, what a nice husband I am. I bought you Thin Mints. I fed them to your friends, her children, myself, and yours too.
Stevie, you just have to drink ginger ale, and you'll be fine. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, just drink ginger ale. Your stomach will be fine. That's bringing it back to the beginning.
The testing was just conducted in 2024.
Oh, so they're fairly new metals.
Yeah, this is a new study.
Would you say they're NU metal?
Listen, this study was conducted in 2024, and it says that in 100% of the products contained at least 4 out of the 5 heavy metals and other extremely problematic results. They tested cookies that came from California, Iowa, and Louisiana because they wanted to ensure the validity of the testing.
Oh my god! So the metals were all over the place.
Yeah, they said the results were similar or the same.
So these were all heavy metals, not light metal, right?
Yeah, no, like, gonna mess you up metals. Like we're in trouble for all the Girl Scout cookies we eat a year.
Yo.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Eating metal.
I'm not.
I thought I was doing good. I was like, let me buy these Girl Scout cookies for my boss's kids, and that wasn't even to suck up. That was literally just to be nice, or from these girls outside of the store, or like, you know, just being nice. And I like Girl Scout cookies, whatever. And yeah, I'm just getting poisoned.
So the next time you see a Girl Scout outside and they're selling cookies and you want to not buy those cookies, just look at them and say, "I ain't buying your metals."
So they said they tested 25 cookies. They tested 11 types of cookies, including Adventurefuls, Samoas, Do-si-dos.
Of course Samoas have metals.
Remedies, Lemon-Ups, Tagalongs, Thin Mints, Toast Yay, Coffee Tastic, and Trefoils.
So all of them. Every single cookie you would buy has them in it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's terrible.
The only ones I ever really buy are Do-si-dos, Tagalongs, and Thin Mints, and Samoas.
And no Trippy.
All 4 of the ones that I buy are on this list.
Trippy, I am still alive. So, yes.
Said, but did you die?
No. Safe metal travels.
Ginger ale cure everything is like Windex in my big fat Greek wedding.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Stevie, I think of Dawn dish soap is my Windex, Stevie.
And Trippy, they are upcharging for their fucking cookies. They're upcharging for all the metal. It costs a lot to put that much metal in there.
So that means that the voice in the back of the room, you've been buying Girl Scout cookies and giving it to your boss? Yeah, give me that promotion.
No. My boss's kids used to sell them, and I would buy them.
Oh, okay. Did you tell her? Is it all the you didn't know about the cookies being contaminated back then?
No. This was a couple of years ago. I buy them every year from somebody. Like,
I like the mint cookies. They're good.
Yeah, Thin Mints are my fave.
The mints are nice.
Can I give you guys a confession?
But guys, we've been eating arsenic, man.
Yeah, can I give you a confession?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even after knowing this, I'll probably still eat Thin Mints.
Me too. I'm going to go buy one tomorrow. I'm going to go to the same Lowe's that I bought one outside of the last week with Stevie, and I'm going to buy more.
Small dosages. I'm developing an immunity.
Yeah. That's how Rasputin survived for so long. That's how we survive. You prepare for it.
Stevie, yes, ginger ale cures all. I grew up with it. Or I could tell you the home grandma's remedy, which is lemon and salt. And you get a
Ew.
shot of that. And it actually works.
No, it's just
Believe it or not.
Mom
gross.
has this weird like mushroom tea, and it's like not psychedelic mushrooms,
Yeah.
but mushroom tea that's meant to like support respiratory health. And I was like super sick at her house for a couple of weeks. So I'm not gonna lie, she gave me this tea. And I was like, "What are you making me drink?" And I felt amazing. It was effective. So some of those, I'm just saying, some of those like wives' tales or things you grew up with like work.
Yo,
I agree. So, yes, Stevie, Windex solves everything, but not in your mouth.
by the way, Wendy's
Don't drink it.
Girl Scout Mint Frosty, count me in. It's heavy metal frosty.
So the Girl Scouts issued a statement
Give me
in
1 second.
response where they say that it's the Girl Scout cookies are safe to consume and are manufactured in accordance with all food safety and regulations.
And definitely, Mara, they had relations with the
It
monkeys.
says, and that heavy metals could occur naturally in soil, and trace amounts of glyphosate, which is, I guess, a pesticide, is found in produce. So he said the metals are not added to the Girl Scout cookies. It's happening in the soil.
Oh,
Even worse.
okay.
I know. That's I'm sitting here. I'm like, all that I'm thinking about is like, this is why the FDA is going to be undergoing like a real big transformation. Like they're just saying,
Yup.
the only heavy metals in this are metals that happen in the soil and that are perfectly within guidelines. And I'm like, so the guidelines say you can feed us arsenic? Great.
Right?
Stevie's going night-night.
Night, Stevie. We love you.
Good night, Stevie. Thanks for joining. And don't forget to get ginger ale.
And Thin Mints are amazing, Trippy E. Trippy E, Thin Mints are amazing. Thin Mints are amazing. You could shut up. Thin Mints are amazing.
So, yeah, they say based on current FDA regulations, there's no evidence that the cookies pose a health risk.
Well, there is evidence. All right.
And the Forbes released an article about it, and they said the findings were based on EPA water safety standards, not the standards we apply to food from the FDA. That's even worse. That means they're pretty much saying, hey, it meets food standards. You're comparing it to what our water standards are. Why are my food standards and my water standards that much different?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wild. Are you eating a Thin Mint right now, JR?
No.
You guys want to eat? You want to watch me eat Thin Mints in about a second?
Chocolate.
I'll go get the Thin Mints. I'll eat them in public.
Anyway.
You were talking about Thin Mints, so I just craved chocolate.
Yeah, I love Thin Mints.
Yeah, hold on. Hello? Hello? All right, coming outside. Bye.
Hi.
Don't feed them Thin Mints, whatever you do.
Give them
No,
Thin
I
Mints.
won't.
Give them
I'll be
all
right
the
back.
Thin Mints.
Okay, fair.
Fair enough.
I feel so bad. Like, I literally made a cheesecake out of the Samoas the one time, remember? That was, like, just a cheesecake filled with all the heavy metal. So is that heavy metal cheesecake, and I don't mean in design?
Yeah.
Dudo, get off your phone.
I'm commenting to everybody because the comments aren't popping up here. Here, look. I've been commenting back. Everyone's going to bed.
It's 10 p.m. on a work night.
Yeah, it's 10 p.m. on a work night. It's 10 p.m. It's 10 p.m. on a work night. Do you know where your kids are?
I'm dying of heat exhaustion in this room.
Me too. I'm waiting for JR to get back.
He is getting his children.
Children. He's getting them Thin Mints.
He's feeding them do-si-dos.
Dosey-dos. Oh.
That was literally the number one question I had written down, but when the turtle zoo thing came up and I had that turtle question, I was like, oop, bumper, changing the order of these.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't let you keep talking. I'm like, no, you cannot ruin my transition. It's a perfect transition. Just like last week, I had that perfect transition. And
Yeah.
the fun thing is you guys don't even know.
So let's open a conversation with the crowd. Danielle, your kids are asleep. What time do they go to sleep?
You're echoing.
Hmm?
You echo.
I'm echoing because of his headphones. Yeah. Right now his headphones
Danielle,
are...
what are your favorite Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah, and which ones do you give to your kids?
She's probably like, none of them.
I'm not answering this question. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I buy like a few boxes, but I don't go crazy because they are expensive.
They go to bed around 9:30. I get the comments on my phone first. That's why I keep looking down. I'm trying to keep up with you guys.
Why is it so hot in your office?
I don't know why
Why
it's
do
so...
you keep me trapped here to die?
I don't know why
Of
it's
heat
hot.
exhaustion.
It's hot in here because...
I'm gonna die from a sweaty butt.
Sweaty butt. Sweaty. Our viewership is dropping drastically.
At 10 or just because we're not talking about anything in particular?
Because we're not talking about anything in particular.
Okay, well, I don't know. See, Danielle said my girls don't eat Girl Scout cookies.
They prefer Chips Ahoy.
Oh, see? I'm a brat with cookies. Like, Pseudo will bring cookies home and I'm like, meh, I'll bake them.
Yeah.
I'm such a brat.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have 3 more questions.
We can call it at this.
Okay.
No, we can get more questions in. I'm down.
Well, why don't we start one while we wait for JR to get back?
Okay, let's start one. Let's go.
All right. This is the next question. At what age do you think... This is an opinion one. At what age do you think a person becomes old?
Ooh, that's a difficult one.
Yeah, tread lightly.
All right, so a person becomes old. Mentally, it's an age. It's an age that's mental. Because you know how I believe in Southern old versus Northern old?
Oh, please explain.
So Southern old is like, in the South, you're older, younger than you are in the North. In the North, like, I'm talking about America. Because I know this is like international, and we're kind of...
Okay.
So I'm talking about the East Coast too. So Southeast, Northeast, as Caitlin just said. The Southeast, you age much faster than you do in the Northeast. And you could say it's medical. You could say it's culture. You could even say it's weather. Whatever it is, you age differently. So I think old differentiates based upon the person. So one person might be 60 and they're just now old. One person might be 80 and they're just now old. One person might be 20 and they're old.
Yeah, we're live.
JR,
Yeah.
when does a person become old?
Who?
When does a person become old?
Started the conversation. Well, wait, in case there's an easy one for you to hop into. The question was, at what age does a person become old?
I would say 90.
I just say you can tell he lives in the Northeast.
Yeah,
That's that answer.
Danielle says 60. You can tell she lives in the Southeast.
Exactly. I do think it's different regionally. I agree with you, Pseudo. I do think it's based on the person. So what you missed was Pseudo pretty much saying it depends on the person, but he was saying like you notice a difference in like people being old like regionally.
No, I think that up here in the Northeast, they don't consider 60 old anymore.
No.
And I'm surprised. In the South, they consider 60 old. That's strange.
So let's put
Because
it in
we look at,
Yeah. Sorry for cutting off. Continue.
well, some 80-year-olds, they look great. Like the guy from Ghostbuster, Winston.
Oh, I thought...
What?
Yeah, he hasn't been eating medals.
Right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. He looks good for his age. He's 80.
I do think region has a perspective, but I do think that's more culture. So when you could say culture or lifestyle, like health conscious, like I would say culture, because I think health consciousness or whatever kind of goes based on culture as well, right? But like to put it in perspective, my mom is within a few years of Pseudo's grandmother, right? And my mom lived in the Northeast. She moved to the Midwest now. She, born and raised, grew up, lived most of her life in the Northeast. His grandma lives in the South, right?
Right.
In the Southeast. So it's funny because, like, when you talk to them, it's like, you know, you talk to his grandma, she's like, come to Granny, give me hugs, this and that. And then I'm like, I talked to my mom who's the same age, like, are we going for that hike? And she's like, smoking us both, walking through Savannah, you know, like, and I'm like, they're essentially the same age, you know. But I've also heard people down south be like, I'm such and such age, I would never want to have children at this age, like, I'm 42. And I'm like, people in the Northeast are like, I'm having my first child at 42, you know, like, it's so different.
Like Danielle just commented, at 55 in the South, you start getting a senior discount.
Wow, you don't get a senior discount up here until, like, up in the Northeast till, like, 67, like, retirement age, I don't think.
Yeah. Yep.
I will say, my mom will ask for senior discounts, and people will be like, no, I want to see ID. Good for my mom.
Yeah.
So I think...
Good for me.
Good for you. I agree with Pseudo that I think it's, you know, there's a regional aspect, but I think it depends on the person.
Yes, it does. It does.
Yeah, I like that JR said 90. Respect. Agreed.
Yeah, I see a lot of people in their 80s. They look better than some 20 or 50 years ago. People in their 80s. It's amazing.
Your mom can get a senior discount down by Danielle.
Yeah, listen, lifestyle changes.
I bet you.
Said your mom.
Check this out. I bet you 90 is gonna look like 60. I bet you in 5 years with technology.
You know what? You're probably right.
They're gonna get better at diagnosing things. They're already talking about how they're getting better at it with some technology that I'd rather not speak about because it's controversial, but it is helping diagnose things much easier.
Well, I mean, they
That's
were already
awesome.
getting better even before that.
I know they were, but it's grown exponentially.
Yeah, so I thought that was a fun question. You know, like a perspective question. What age do you think people get old?
And you guys got to hear about my Southern old comment.
Because you know, I would have not agreed with you had I not lived in Alabama for 4 years during college, or like hung out with your family. Only because some of them will be like, I can't do this, I'm too old, and I'm like, you're 7 years older than me. You know, like your aunts and uncles are in my age group.
Yes, it is.
Like,
I'm not being
so
ageist
old,
here.
like,
I'm just
you're
being
not
honest.
much older than me.
There is an age difference from north to south. You could, like what I said earlier, you could blame it on the weather. You can blame it on medical advances. You could blame it on whatever. You could be like, you could straight up with the weather, you could be like, the heat is warmer down south, so the body deteriorates faster, while in the cold it deteriorates slower. You could say that. You could say medical advances in the Northeast are much more higher advanced than they are in the South, which they are.
Yeah, people have access.
There's more access to it. You could say culture. In the Northeast, culture is more get on your feet, walk to the grocery store. Let's not get in a car and drive to the grocery store.
I don't think that's true in the Northeast.
Not all over, but like when I lived...
I've seen that a lot more out here in the Midwest than in the Northeast.
The Midwest is much more about that than the Northeast. I will say that.
I see people riding their bikes and walking to the grocery store like crazy here.
Yeah. But like in the Northeast, when I lived in Providence, you would take the bus or you would ride your bike.
City life.
Yeah.
We live in the city now. When one of my friends, Flam, she's not in the comments, she lives in Tampa. She lives like that. It's a city. You're talking city life. That's a big difference.
And Danielle, I agree with you. 50 is disqualified as... 50, oh, you said it's classified
her
as...
husband, Daniel.
It's
Is classified as old.
Wow.
Southern perspective.
Wow.
You have to do the JR Wow since he had to step out.
Yeah, since he had to step out, I did the JR well for y'all. For y'all. Why
are you doing that?
I like the echo.
No, you're trying to fill in the empty airtime, and you could just have a conversation.
That's true. I don't know. It's like what we talked about. It's all
Judah told
perspective.
me he thinks people are preserved better in the cold weather at one point.
I do agree with that. That's why I just went to explaining that. I didn't want to be offensive with it. I do think that people are preserved way better in the cold weather.
You missed it, JR. Pseudo tried to make random sounds to try to fill airtime, and I called him out for it. I said, don't do that. Just converse with me.
I get it. It's the halfway point of life. I get it. I actually... You know what? By that theory, yeah.
Still don't think that's old. Back in the day, it would have been old.
I think old should be your last quarter.
I think old is a perspective.
Yes.
I don't think it's any particular age. I think it's 100% a perspective. Because, like, somebody could be like, I'm old, my body's giving up this and that. But somebody else could be like, I do feel the aches and pains, but I work out, I do this, I eat better, I do these lifestyle changes because I want to be able to be alive and move better and move until I'm older.
Well, stem cells does that.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. They were just talking about, there was a news article about...
I'm a firm believer in that.
Surgery, like, you know, going way better, or like the repair being way better based on like nasal cartilage shells.
All right.
Or something being used.
I'm going to let out a pseudo secret right now opinion. You will hear about it in the news shortly because pseudo has these ideas that end up becoming like things that happen. I'm telling you, this will happen. All right. You know they can clone people.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want to do that. No one wants to do that. That's ethically wrong. But what if you're an organ donor, and instead of donating your organ, they clone your organ, and then they reproduce that? So
well, they grow ears on mice, so I don't know why not.
So then the paramedic isn't more likely to kill you because you're an organ donor.
Wow, why are you making it about paramedics?
Well, I'm all right. Not just paramedics. The doctor isn't more likely to have to deal with the.
I got my license out here in Indiana, and he asked if I was an organ donor, and I said no, and he goes, "Why not?" I said, "I know people take the Hippocratic Oath, and I know that I'm being paranoid and ridiculous, but I can't help it." And somewhere in my head, I think that a doctor would be less likely to save me because he knows he could save 20 other people with my organs.
It's called the trolley problem.
He made it about paramedics, and I'm like, why are you hating on paramedics? My sister-in-law's a paramedic.
All right, not just paramedics, but I'm talking about...
One of my best friends out in Jersey is a paramedic.
Okay. I'm talking about
my friend from college is a paramedic. Does stuff with FEMA. Like, don't hate on paramedics.
I'm talking about the trolley dilemma.
Don't hate on medics.
I ain't. I'm talking about the trolley dilemma. You know what the trolley dilemma is? It's when you could save 100 people, or you could save this one person.
Which is also the example I gave him.
I know.
Doctors have to make that choice every day.
And do they take your organ and save a bunch of people with it? Now, if they were cloning your organ when you died, it'd be less likely that would be an issue because that organ would be just cloned from someone else.
Yeah, but listen to this. To add to what you just said, Vinny, why not? And when I say this, they're probably doing it. You know how your body gets old, right? So if you could clone yourself right now and use this sleeve and just transfer your consciousness into your clone body, you don't die.
No.
You live forever.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I want to forever be 23.
Yeah.
No, vampires are not allowed.
I want to forever live in a 23-year-old body.
Yeah.
Vampires are not allowed.
I mean, it's got to be possible. I don't see why not.
I look at
Because
pictures of
Elon
23
Musk,
and I'm like, hell yeah.
Elon Musk cloned himself onto a hard drive.
I'd be looking at pictures of me at 23 too and being like, "Oh my God, you looked hideous back then."
That's what I'm saying.
Men grow better.
They do.
Think about it, Vinny. Think about it. Just for a split second. Think about it. You're 33 right now. When you're 50, you clone yourself now. When you're 50, they have your 33-year-old body, and they just say, "Hey, Just take your consciousness from your 50-year-old and transfer it to your 30.
I'm not gonna lie to you,
Clone
Jr.
me
Jr.
now.
At the rate I'm going, when I'm 55, I'm gonna be a sexy beast.
Clone me now. Clone him when he's 36. Clone me now. Clone him when he's 36 so that we could forever be the same age.
Because when I was 22, I didn't look this good.
Facts. He won me over with his comedic charm.
Now I look good.
It does not on this podcast.
What happened? Voice in the back of the room?
I said he's accurate. He won me over with his comedic charm, not his looks back then.
And I'm not funny anymore.
And I said, but the comedic charm does not present well in this podcast.
Oh, man.
Anyway, it's 10:20. How do you guys feel about one more question?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Do we want to do something about a band or something about a criminal court?
Bam.
I
Danielle,
have
have a good night.
Good
Get
night,
some
Danielle.
sleep.
I'm gonna report you.
So do you guys know who Dawn Robinson is?
Nope.
No.
Dawn Robinson is part of En Vogue. You guys remember En Vogue?
Yeah.
Yes.
She has been living out of her car for 3 years.
We just seen her 3 years ago.
Was that 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay, well, she's been living out of her car for 3 years.
We seen her live. She was on a concert with Sean Kingston and Shaggy.
So apparently she was having, like, some life problems, like, different things. And she went to live with her parents for a while, and then there were some issues there. So, like, one of her managers said, you could live with me. I don't have a lot of space. I'll make space for you. But then when she got there was no space for her. So he, like, paid her a hotel room. She was doing that for, like, 8 months, and she was so overwhelmed by it all. And she started looking, seeing things about, like, people who, like, live in their cars, this and that. And she said that she decided to take the plunge. And she's, like, never been happier.
Wow.
Yeah, she said that everybody's like, you're a celebrity, don't tell people you live out of your car, this and that, blah, blah. So she's pretty much, like, it sounds like when you hear the headline, you think, like, she's homeless? How? No, I mean, technically, I guess, yes, but no, she's living, quote-unquote, car life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, me and Caitlin did that during the vlog series when we filmed that all, because we're done filming right now. We'll resume in the summer. When we filmed that whole thing, which you'll see the episodes, they'll take about a year for them to all come out. Shout out, one coming out next Tuesday. When we filmed that whole thing, we lived out of our car. It was enjoyable. It was very enjoyable. We didn't even have an issue.
I mean, we stayed in a lot of KOAs and stuff, though. Like, that's not, she lives in her car.
Yeah, we didn't sleep in the car. We slept in the car 2 nights.
3 times, and all the times you were king weird.
Yeah.
King weird?
What we figured was, like, oh, sometimes we'll sleep in the car in a rest stop or something. Like, that's what people do, you know, like, save some money on our way from one place to another. Not a big deal. Yep. So just like, yeah, but whenever we'd agree to do that, it'd suddenly get weird and be like, no, we can't do that. And so we've only done it a few times, and you know, it's his anxiety just can't take it.
I have issues.
Nah, he's just convinced that like the axe murderer of the century is gonna come up. Like he's convinced Son of Sam's coming to murder us.
To be honest, you want to know what I'm actually afraid of?
What?
Getting the shits.
Get the shit.
I'm over here like he's worried about Son of Sam. He's over here like, I'm worried about having to shit.
I'm worried about getting the shits, like having a lot of shits in the middle of the night. Like, I got some stomach issues. I might get some, like, diarrhea.
All the places we stopped and stayed had accessible bathrooms.
There's a difference between accessible bathroom and, like, I have to shit and I gotta run to it. There's a difference.
Just so you know, he was like, "Oh, are you gonna be bougie when we stay in a cabin that has a share? It doesn't have its own bathroom. And you have to walk to the bathroom. Are you gonna be weird?" Translation: I was never weird. He was always weird.
Yeah. Okay.
You tried to pin that on me.
Well,
You tried to act like I was gonna be some sort of damsel, and it was you the whole time. The damsel, let down your hair over there, Rapunzel.
Damn.
I see you, Ariel.
Oh, shit.
Since he's ginger, he's turning ginger. I had to find the redhead, you know.
Yeah, I got the burp in the mic again.
I'm just like,
Oh,
all right,
that's funny.
Sleeping Beauty, I see you.
Yeah.
I got the shits.
She's like, I'm so scared. I might prick my finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and fall asleep and never wake up while shitting myself. And then the prince will never kiss me back awake.
Shit.
He'll find me and I'll just be covered in shit. I mean, if we think about those stories realistically, the princess would probably find them covered in refuse.
Oh my god.
Yo, Aries is like, all right, guys, we're ready.
All right. Well, you want to close out the show, guys?
Yeah, we got a vlog coming out next week on Pseudo Does Things.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Pseudo on the move.
Pseudo on the move. Pseudo on the move. JR got a couple things going on this week, right, JR?
Not this week. Actually, in the month of April.
Okay, so we'll get to that. Do you want to announce it now, or do you want to wait?
We'll wait. We'll wait.
And keep watching up with the podcast. Keep up with the things.
Like and subscribe. We talk about poop a lot.
Share it with your mom. Share it with everybody else. I really want your mom to watch us. I've been begging.
And if you're not watching for us and you're only watching for Trippy's shirtless body, and the payments anywhere from $2.50 friends and family to $3 or a bag of gummies, then keep showing up, because that happens here apparently.
Oh my god. You know, don't forget to give his Patreon, you know. like, subscribe, share, everybody.
Whatever you do, please tell us about it. Bye.
And have a trippy...
And JR is actually going to log off tonight. Let's see if this actually happens.
Oh my god. Oh, everybody don't have a poop fantastic night. See ya.
Bye.